This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. It's important that the COVID data is assessed and the decisions that government and the Ministry of Health make are directly related to the data it sees. And that's according to Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville, as he confirmed that the country is in a fourth wave of the COVID pandemic. Bahamians and residents can expect more restrictions to mitigate the spread of the virus following a record 330 cases on Christmas Day.
If you look at the Delta variant, if you had about 300 people infected with the Delta variant, and there's about 10% who would be hospitalized, what we're seeing with the Omicron variant is a little bit different. And so our decisions are based on the evidence that is in front of us. When we say watching, it means that we need to see how the virus is panning out in our country. So our epidemiologists and our scientists can make policies around what we are experiencing as a nation. And so we are now about 5 days. We see the cases is spiking. And for that means we now are implementing new measures that we will be able to tighten mass gatherings, because the virus is highly transmissible, and the less people we have meeting together in large numbers, the less likelihood of the transmission to take place. Okay. And so we are doing what every country around the world is doing, creating policies that is reflective of the data in front of us.
The health minister's comments come off the heels of former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis criticizing the government's new health measures. In fact, Dr. Minnis told a local daily last week that the new measures were not enough to tackle the recent spike in cases. While COVID numbers are spiking, hospitalizations remain relatively low. Asked if there's a specific number of hospitalizations that would trigger another tightening of restrictions, Dr. Darville says this.
Well, first of all, we are pleased of what we've seen so far with the numbers to where they are today. We're hoping and praying that what is happening across the globe is going to be reflective of what's going on in the Bahamas. But with that being said, we are making the necessary preparations in the event that we do see a surge of individuals coming to our emergency room, and the ability to prevent bottlenecks and provide appropriate measures so that we can take care of individuals who do have issues as it relates to the COVID virus.
Today, there are more than 1,500 active cases of COVID-19 in country, with 22 patients hospitalized. In news from the courts, Jamaican nationals 34-year-old Neru James and 50-year-old Devon Richards were formally arraigned in the magistrate's court on Wednesday morning in connection to that more than $600,000 suspected marijuana bust on Christmas Eve in Greater Nagua. The pair were charged with 1 count each of conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, conspiracy to import dangerous drugs, and importation of dangerous drugs. Both James and Richards entered a not guilty plea in for all charges. The particulars are, according to the police daily crime report, on December 24th, the United States Coast Guard and officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit were in the area of Greater Nagua on routine air patrols when they observed a speedboat benched on the northern shoreline of Greater Nagua. As a result, the patrolling aircraft landed in the vicinity of the speedboat. The officers disembarked and approached the suspects. When the officers arrived at the boat, one of them noticed a number of packages a short distance away from the males in low bushes. Officers searched the area and found 34 large packages, some of them wrapped in black plastic and others in white bags. Police say the drugs were 611 pounds with an estimated street value of $611,000. Magistrate Samuel McKinney remanded the duo to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until January 14th. A bail hearing and trial is set for February 22nd. Following reports of a young woman allegedly attacked and sexually assaulted in the Carmichael Road area early Sunday morning, police have released a sketch of a man wanted in connection with this incident. Police say the man appears to be between the ages of 35 and 40 years old, standing roughly 5 feet 7 inches tall, with a slim build, short dreads, and dark brown complexion. While the details currently available to the press are few, preliminary reports indicate a woman was walking on Carmichael Road shortly after 5 a.m. on Sunday, the 26th of December, when she was allegedly accosted by a man and dragged into nearby bushes. According to the victim, a struggle ensued in which she attempted to fend off her attacker to no avail. Police press liaison ASP Audley Peters says investigations are ongoing. The decision to cancel a New Year's Eve event this weekend will affect Fusion Superplex's revenue greatly. This according to CEO Carlos Folks, whose comments come off the heels of the government implementing additional COVID-19 protocols for gatherings amidst an uptick in COVID-19 cases. On Sunday, the Ministry of Health advised it will not approve any large gatherings and suspended all current approvals. This cancellation, according to Mr. Folks, impacts the company's payment to its vendors, utilities, and government taxes.
From the last time we did an event like that, we had about 1,200 persons attended it, for example. All right. This year, the idea was to cut back to 50% capacity. And this is an outdoor event. So if you can hold 1,200, we cut back to 50% of that. That would have reduced our revenue expectations about to half. All right, which would be about $50,000 for an event like that. And then we would share that with the partners who are hosting the event. All right, and it's a nice chunk to pay salaries for the holidays. And it's revenue that is injected into the business at this time of the year that the company can operate on for weeks. All right, and so it's unfortunate. And I would like to remind the public that anytime the government or the Ministry of Health or anybody at the Prime Minister's office, when we make determinations as to what businesses should do in terms of restrictions, all right, this has an impact on the economy. It has an impact on families. And so we must be careful not to be knee-jerk in our reactions for these type of things.
He adds that businesses must be allowed to operate if the economy is going to grow and recover. Asked if Fusion can afford any more imposed restrictions, the CEO says this.
The answer to that question is no. All right, we can't afford normal operation as it is. So additional restrictions is going to be significantly harmful to the business. So what we did, as Mr. Bridgewater indicated, they sat down with the Ministry of Health and, okay, what are your concerns? And we looked at specific areas that they have concerns. And we said, all right, well, here's the plan, here's the plan, here's the plan. And we've had an open dialogue with the Ministry of Health, which is why we've been able to maintain our operations. And they've pointed out areas where they think, okay, well, you know what? You can't do valet parking. We don't think that is safe. For now, shut that down. Okay, it was a loss of revenue. But nevertheless, it's an area of the business that continues to remain shut down. And other small key points that they would have made that we try to ensure that we are able to enforce it. We've also brought on additional staff members to help with crowd management. So there's additional labor costs just to remain operationally viable.
Given that the company offers other amenities like movies, restaurants, and arcades, Fusion will still be open to the public on New Year's Eve. In fact, here's some things that were put in place to deal with a recent spike in COVID-19 cases.
The answer to that question is no. All right, we can't afford normal operation as it is. So additional restrictions is going to be significantly harmful to the business. So what we did, as Mr. Bridgewater indicated, they sat down with the Ministry of Health and, okay, what are your concerns? And we looked at specific areas that they have concerns. And we said, all right, well, here's the plan, here's the plan, here's the plan. And we've had an open dialogue with the Ministry of Health, which is why we've been able to maintain our operations. And they've pointed out areas where they think, okay, well, you know what? You can't do valet parking. We don't think that is safe. For now, shut that down. Okay, it was a loss of revenue. But nevertheless, it's an area of the business that continues to remain shut down. And other small key points that they would have made that we try to ensure that we are able to enforce it. We've also brought on additional staff members to help with crowd management. So there's additional labor costs just to remain operationally viable.
Additionally, Fusion staff has also increased to 300 individuals, and out of that number, 250 are fully vaccinated. Well, that does it for news this evening. Once again, I'm Leah Cooper, and from all of us here at JCN News, have a wonderful evening, everyone.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.